Hello. Well, things don't always work out the way they seem to mean to, whatever. Everything works out the way it's meant to. So, I was meant to do this as a live. I had to pre-record it and put it on as a add-on. So, sorry for that. We are not going to be able to interact on this one, but you are always welcome to comment in the video. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you resonate with. Always share the love, and of course share the information. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Maybe you know a Libra and it'll hit close to home and they'll love the artwork, right? It's all about sharing the love, right? And Libras are really known for that. So if you are a Libra, please type in, say hi, give me a heart, because we're all about love. So Libras, what are they all about? Well, they're about justice. They got the scales. They are all about making things good, but in a level and balanced way. Their color is pink, so that's the color we're starting with. And we are going to balance out and put a little bit of each. So, if you are not familiar with me, my name is Kat. I am the Rainbow Pixie. I do intuitive art and healing services. And today we are going to create a Libra effect with our beautiful art. And Libra's color is pink. The planet is Venus. So they are all about love, and they are known as being the hopeless romantics. Yes, indeed they are. So we are going to use a lot of pink and pretty light pastel-y colors. And we're going to move this down and just keep it going. So I'm using a beautiful teal. It's a metallic. I'm using a beautiful copper gold, like a rosy kind of gold. And then we're using two different kinds of purple. A really pastel-y purple and a really dark purple. And then I'm also using a beautiful pastel pink and a dark. So I'm using like a light and a dark of each, right? Because that's, you know, I think it represents the Libra effect really, really, really nicely. Alrighty, so what am I on? What am I on? I want pink. I want light pink, actually. We haven't done any more light pink. Got some light pink in there. So yeah, pink is their color. Guess what their flower is? I bet you know what their flower is. Can you guess? Can you guess? If you know what it is, put it in the comments. I'm going to wait a second to see if you can figure it out. So the more you lift up the cup, the more the colors kind of stream out and into it, right? So you get a really pretty cool effect. And every two colors, I pop that copper in between. So we're just getting a little bit of balance in there. So we're doing a dark one there. And we're going to do the bright pink here on this one. I love the bright pink. I'm actually going to put a little bit of that one. And then put the copper in between. You got to remember to keep the mode. And I think I'm going to keep this and we're just going to drag it. Because I think we have more than enough color. And I want to end with that really light pink color. Keep it in the flow. And with all of our art, we always add some heat because that's what life gives to us. That's why I like pour painting, because it does kind of represent like a perfect representation of what our awakening is kind of like. You know, you have a white canvas. We start with ourselves being born, not knowing anything. And then we get these beautiful colors on here. And then we have things that happen in our lives that bring the heat. So we're going to add some heat to it and see what comes up. But a lot of the times that heat makes things so much prettier. And it's like, wow, this transforms us. We don't always notice that in the time. It always can kind of feel icky and sticky and gross and not so good, but you know, afterwards it turns out to be a blessing in disguise. And what we get is this gorgeous new outlook on life. We get this beautiful whole new canvas with a whole new look. And it turns out to be quite magnificent. Oh, this is gorgeous. We're just going to keep moving it. I want a little bit to come over that corner. You can always dip it too. Same with this one. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Ooh, so pretty. So pretty. I just want to make sure we got the corner here. Okay, I'm going to quick wipe down. This is stunning. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have all these corners covered. We can take all of this, add it on in its own beautiful way. It just adds a little bit of texture to it. And then we add the heat again. So the heat always, like I said, adds a little bit of a transformation to it, right? And as you can see, there's already bubbles in here. And those bubbles will bring up some of that white that's underneath. And you watch how it just kind of transforms once again. It's so magical. So as we do this, it brings up the cells and mutates it one more time. Which is kind of what we go through. Like, we go through these mutations in our life, and we go through these cycles every 10 years. And Libra is the 7th part of the cycle. 7th part is learning about how to trust and be open and create with a community, right? Oh, this is stunning. It is transformed. And like, the cool thing is as it dries, it transforms again. And so, like, it's just like us. When we're awakening, we go through major transformations. And our art is the blossoming of it. It's the peeling away. It's the adding of our textures. It is adding of our experiences. And yes, you know, it's about transmuting the energy of them. That's why we add the heat. The heat is what pushes us into the fear. So we can come out the other side and become pure love. So, like we said, it is part of the 7th house. The 7th house is all about relationships. So you can understand why, like, they're the, like, hopeless romantics. They're all about having soulmates. And, you know, they're ruled by Venus, which is the planet of love. I know I am. I am a hopeless romantic. But their stone is opal. Their day is Friday, just like Taurus, because Taurus and them share the same planet, right? So, and their planet is Venus. Venus is the planet of love. Friday's the day of fun. It's our lucky day. And it is a masculine sign. The colors for it are pink and blue. So look at how perfect, like, that balanced out. Like, that's what I love about pour painting. We never know what's going to happen. Never know what's going to happen. But in this painting, We set intention before we lay it out. And then all of a sudden it just unfolds. And look at it. It's perfect. We got a perfect blend of some like golds in there, some gorgeous pink, and some beautiful blues, and a little bit of that teal. It's very little. I'd like to see a little bit more of that teal in there, but that's okay. That is okay. And just the little pops of white that are coming through. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's going to make for some really fun and bubbly effects, which gives me ideas. Ooh, gives me ideas. Because they are known for the air, their air sign, right? So we're going to work with that. They are known as being super peaceful and fair, and they're all about partnership and loyalty, and they're enriched in life. Like they like the really beautiful things. They like to be surrounded by beautiful things, just like Taurus. Taurus is the same way. They love to be surrounded by beautiful things. They like to have pretty things. I'm a little bit different. I'm doing art though, so I don't want to be in my fancy things. I just want to be in my creative things. So this is my creative things, and it keeps me warm. But I've been doing workshops all day for the last 2 days, setting intentions for this beautiful new moon and solar eclipse. And there has been some really weird stuff that has come through. So it's been very interesting, what has been brought to light and what has come into my little vortex in the last little while, as far as like transformation needing to happen in my own little vortex, right? So I do see me needing to go out and actually do more with the actual people, because Facebook doesn't seem to be cooperating with me anymore. I can't get the engagement as like I used to, and I am just getting to the point where I would like to rather focus on one platform that has like people that are wanting to engage and actually be a part of my little vortex and my little world. And I have some beautiful stuff that I love to offer. And I mean, look at how gorgeous these paintings turn out. Like this is the Gemini painting. It turned out so beautiful. The other fellow air sign, right? And you know what's fun is I'm actually doing the opposite. So Gemini is actually known as a masculine sign as well, but I'm actually transmuting them and doing the opposite sign, so you have a little bit of balance. Each one of these paintings has all of the information that we share in these lives, so you have it with you at all times, right? And like I'm a little bit behind. This is the Cancer, but you know when these dry, they turn out so amazing. Like, and I want you to know that when you're going through your awakening, there's like stages, like the painting, where it's like painful. When you add the heat, it's a little bit painful, right? And there's chances you could get burned, and there's chances that, you know, it might transmute and turn into like something you don't like, right? It really depends on what our intention is and where our energy goes. But when we set the intention, so this is, guess what this one is? I bet you'll guess. It's Leo, right? Like, very Leo intention. It's got like nothing but Leo love in there. So we got like all these beautiful pieces that we set these intentions into, and we're the same way. We're like, what is it, 80% water? Water carries memories that need to be purged, and this is the best time to do it. Like full moon, purge out, new moon, set our intentions. But when there's an eclipse, it's all about really assessing and making sure that whatever we're doing is going to be set for the next 6 months, and that the intention is pure of heart. And that's literally like, I mean, we're setting right into the seventh house of of our beautiful Libra sign right now, and that's all about heart. They're all about transmutation. And in the like for me, even in the gene keys, it's all about transmuting seriousness into joy, and love into delight, and transmuting the fear, because it's the fear that is really what's harming everyone. And so once we purge all those fear codes out of us, we start feeling healthier and better, and start being able to listen to our intuition again, and start tapping into what we're meant to do, even if it means just creating little art pieces and talking to yourself for an hour because your internet's not working. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And it's okay. Like, you always figure things out. You have backup plans, you just figure it out, right? And you go with the flow. You just allow and surrender to what is. And I have found that in the last like couple years, I've been fighting things like crazy, like not really surrendering as easily as I thought I would, And so for me right now, it is all about surrendering, and it is about allowing to let things unfold as they need to. So, there may be a new unfolding here within the next little while that is going to be like left field for most of us, especially on this eclipse. Um, and it's really about how we respond to it. It's really about how we manage to go with the flow and work with it, right? So if we resist, it's going to be really painful. If we are open to the idea that our higher self is guiding us to something that it knows is in higher alignment for us, and we can gear towards that. And same with our universe, start like landing that inside of our head, because we're the programmers, creators, we're the creators, our story. And so, but it's not about controlling our story. It's about setting the intentions for our story and allowing things to unfold, and being adventurous, and like looking at it from a big perspective, from a higher point of view, and giving yourself lots of love and lots of grace in between, and lots of forgiveness, especially forgiveness. Oh my God, that is the like most amazing healing tool. And I picked 3 cards for the collective. So at the end of this video, I will let you know what they say. So, I think this art piece is going to be pure magic. I'm already in love with it, and I'm a Libra myself, so it's perfect. I'm a Libra and Virgo mix. So I'm like right on the cusp of Virgo, but I don't acknowledge with a lot of Virgo. So we were on the beautiful features of them. So they are enriched, and they're multi-talented. A lot of Libras can just pick up anything and do it and make things, but they love things that are creative and beautiful and make things pretty, right? They're really enchanting and kind of whimsical and fairy like, and a little, on the flighty side. They are very known for their smiles. They're quite beautiful in their features, both masculine and feminine. And they are known for, like I said, the justice and balance. So that is their good qualities. Their negative qualities, like I said, they're a little flighty. That's the fairy in them. They are a little indecisive. They don't like having a lot of choices. So children, that's like a great thing to know with babies, is that um, they are very much not wanting to have a ton of options. So if you've got a baby in front of you and you're giving them stuff and they're a little Libra baby, just give them a couple. Don't give them multiples, because it'll overwhelm them, and they'll be like, I don't know which one to pick. And then we'll just shut down. Trust me. Libras are not very known for wanting to pick from a lot of things. They'd rather have a couple things and just pick what aligns with them. They can be a little bit manipulative if they are, especially using their beauty. They are kind of known for that, using their sexuality. They can break out of it, just that, like, they are like the extreme of the loyalty part, right? Because they can be known as the ones for cheating. Um, but it's only after you've broken their loyalty first. A lot of the times it's like you have to break their heart multiple times before they're like, peace out, right? So Libras are kind of known for being very much like that. And like, I mean, when I tell you what their motto is, you're going to understand completely. So, but they are like, they have really bad self-talk. So they're really horrible on themselves, even though they see the beauty in everyone else. They have a really hard time seeing the beauty within themselves. So their self-talk is really not so good. If they're in the negative aspects, and they can be quite judgmental and impulsive and a little bit immature. They get quite like childish kind of, yeah. But that being said, that I don't think is necessary. It could be a superpower or work into their negative, right? It just depends on if they're like allowing their kid to drive their vehicle. It's all about working with the inner child, um, innocence, and waking up every day with like a new perspective, and like being in the moment, and like having fun and allowing things to unfold as they are every single day. So if you're being impulsed to go to the store for some stupid reason and you don't really know why, go to the goddamn store. Like, there's no reason, just do the lap and go. You never know that something might have unfolded from that you weren't expecting. So it's about listening to those intuitive nudges that you hear in the moment, right? And like we always say, it's like, do as you will and let it harm none. So as long as you're not hurting anyone, then you know it, carry no guilt, no shame. Pull that out. Pull that out of that root chakra. Poop it out of there. Like we've taught, when we're grounding in, we that chakra out. I still can't forget that. But yeah, so get that out of you, get that energy going, and really work with that inner love. And that's what they're known for. That's why I think I've been drawn to work with the chakras, to really work with the energy, to work with helping people look into their divine design and what carries them forward in the place of love, teaching them how to transmute that fear into love, which is part of what we love to do. Even in my other job, it was, I got to help people feel beautiful and like in that moment feel great. The problem I had is I wanted to help people feel amazing on the inside. So it didn't matter what they put on the outside, so they can look like this and not care, and see that we can still represent and show up and still be beautiful without a full face of makeup, and still shine and show beautiful aspects of ourselves, even when we're under the pressure of heat, right? Which I know there's a lot of people going through that right now, including your rainbow pixie. We're all feeling the squeeze. It's not always rainbow, although I did have the best rainbow the other day. The best rainbow the other day. It was so beautiful, I almost cried. But I'm so used to them now. I'm like, okay. But it was so gorgeous. So, like, and those are little symbols. Those are little, like, synchronicities. When you ask for the signs and you keep yourself open and just follow your heart and that gut, you'll fall into the most magical things, even in the hardest moments. And let me tell you, there were times over the last couple years where I was like, I do not know how I'm going to put the roof over my head, which has been a battle. And I don't know how I'm going to do things. Like, I've been unfolding things and creating and like manifesting beautiful things within my environment, which is what Libras do, and unfolding some magical stuff, which is what I do with my divine designs and my readings and stuff. But I have definitely found that I've had a lot of technical issues, a lot of hiccups that I've had to work through, and I'm starting to learn that I have to work with my divine timing, which is something that we all need to do, is just let go and surrender, right? Which is what came through really strongly for me this weekend, even in the workshops that I did, which were absolutely beautiful. I got to sit with like 100 beautiful like-minded people in a space. I got to clear some interesting stuff. I've actually been pain free 100% for the last 2 days, so that's wonderful. And I'm really just connecting into my heart right now and listening to what my intuition is telling me, which is to tell me to pull back and to listen to myself and to, take some time to do some of the things that I've been wanting to do for myself, and to release whatever and allow whatever to unfold, and to not try to control it anymore. And set the intention, just to set the intention. Like, what is your intention overall? Who are you trying to reach out to? What is it that you want to give them when you reach out to them, right? And for me, it's I want to give people beautiful art pieces that have unique added pieces, so that are 100% different, and give them the original pieces to my oracle deck. I also want to be able to give people these beautiful readings that use human design, gene keys, astrology, and oracle. So you're getting a beautiful balance of the masculine with the feminine, which I got a great balance on this painting today. And show people where their fear centers are, where their grace codes are, and how to transmute that fear into grace as they're walking through those gates, right? So I know for myself, when I started really tapping into my intuition and I would close my eyes, I would see the doorways. And I come to realize that those are the exact doorways that we are looking at in our gene keys. These are the gates that we walk through in our ascension. And being the key that I am, I have access to every single door. And I didn't even realize that until the last probably 2 months. It's really come into my awareness, and learning about gene keys and really diving deep with that system. It has transmuted a lot of how I look at things, even especially myself. And I think that's where we need to begin. It's not about what's going on out there. Like, we start with ourselves. We start owning what we create, what we've been through, what we've experienced, what we have, and let it go and give love and forgiveness to ourselves. It starts to transmute that energy. It trickles down through the families. And so it was wonderful, because even this weekend, me and my cousin, which I haven't been super close with my family, when my matriarch of the family, my Nana, passed, our family dispersed like the wind. And so it's been really hard to kind of go through these hard times, this pandemic and everything, without our ancestors, our elders at the time, or so we thought, they weren't with us, but we learned that they were always with us, and they were giving us messages and giving us intuitive nudges. And for me, like, they would come in through the smells and through um animals and little intuitive little pokes, and just, whispers in the ear. And I had no idea what that was until I started really honing into it, which is what this space has given me the opportunity to do. That being said, there's also been this, like, resistance that I've experienced while in that, because while you're doing that, you are literally letting go of every aspect of that old part of you, that conditioned part that was like in those really negative spaces, in those beliefs where you were, literally attracted to drama, but that was only because you were the drama, which Libras are kind of known for as well. They can be a little bit immature and a little bit dramatic. And that being said, they would really attract a lot of that. But that being said, shining lights do attract dark spaces, right? Because they need to be able to shine. And the more we start transmuting the way we look at our experiences and giving grace to those experiences and letting go with so much love, the more we transmute our art pieces into these beautiful masterpieces. And it's okay to just keep adding on to them until we are as sparkly as we bloody well want to be, and we've added as much rainbow as we want till we shine until we can't take it. Just like in the movie Stardust, that is like one of my favorite movies. It is. And I do believe that that's like literally the essence of that movie. Is that we're just meant to shine, and it doesn't have to look like anything, and that includes our spirituality. Our spirituality, I'm finding, is like, you must look like this. And I, I, I believe that the more we let go, the more we transmute into our authentic self, we shine in our own magnificent way. And the right people that are meant for you will come for you. Which is why this motto is so perfect for them. So, the motto for a Libra is, I don't need anyone who don't need me. Brush it off. Now, that being said, we are kind of known for just cutting people off. If our energy is feeling whack and we are not in alignment with it, we will not even address it because it's not worth it, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It can be very toxic to just like pew 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 pew, snippity snip snip snip. You, you know, without working the communication skills, which is something that Libras have a really hard time with. We can either be very vocal and very all about the justice and the love for everyone, or we're feeling the injustices to ourselves and the humanity, and we carry it so deeply within our hearts, especially the empathic ones, right? Who just absorb that energy like it is their own. And that's why I do believe there is this like process of learning who we are through these readings, because it shows us where our energy centers are. It shows us how to get to our center star, our life's work. It shows us where our health can go, how we incorporate everything together, how our human design and our gene keys are just the like juiciness of how we express in the world. And I love the fact that gene keys is the feminine aspect and the human design is the masculine. And then we take the oracle, which we have a reading at the end of this. So if you stick around, you get to know. At the end, we have this oracle reading that ties everything together. And I can tell you, every single reading I have ever done, it always ties together perfectly. Perfectly. And that's kind of my goal. My goal is to help those who are just transitioning into this, that you're just the one stepping through the gate. You're seeing the doorway for the first time in your third eye, and you're like, where does this go? I don't know. What am I doing? And my goal is to say, okay, lovely, I know where you're meant to go. I have your key. Your gene keys are directly linked to your genes. They have fear codes that are directly linked to those keys, and there's 11 keys in each one of your codes. One being your life's work, your main key, like the master skeleton key to your door. And the cool thing about gene keys is that I do believe that the 64 doors that we are walking through are the codes to our DNA. And when we are walking through those codes, each one has a direct meaning. So the first key, for example, the beauty is the main doorway. So you're walking through the doorway of beauty, and we are transmuting the fear of chaos into beauty. Can you see how the grace, like we work the grace into the beauty, and we show you how to walk through those doorways and use them to your benefit? And so that's what I've done, is I've taken all of these and I've divided them into the masculine and the feminine, and we work both sides and then line you with everything that's in the middle. So everything that's in the middle of your map is going to be what is your major focus. It's going to be your authority, it's going to be your master numbers, and it is going to be where you're leaning towards and pulling away from. And so it gives you a really beautiful direction on how you're navigating. And it's I always say, do not like create a dogma with anything, but if it resonates, it resonates, and take it because your soul is asking you to. And so if it does, and you're interested, then that beautiful little system, that beautiful reading, I've actually transmuted into a beautiful program as well, to take you on a 3-month journey to walk through all of these beautiful aspects. To start with your basics, to go through your energy 101. And if you want just that and you want to just have a taste, go to my webpage, Rainbow Pixie 1111, and you will find it in the products. You'll get a beautiful meditation. You can download it right away, and then you'll get a link to a drive that has all of the beautiful information, a couple worksheets for you that you can download and print off and use as like a journaling piece, and really work through some of those energy systems and learn how to ground yourself. And it's only $22. So if you want to start with something basic and just get a baby taste of what I have to offer, try that. Try that. It is a beautiful little just mini program. There's a whole bunch of videos. There is just a whole bunch of information in there, and it's just a taste of what is in this program. And we start with energy and we work through all of these systems, learning how to work with our chakras, learning how to work with our violet flame, learning how to work through our inner child, learning how to like take ourselves into the astral planes, and ending with ourselves in the past life regressions, so that we have a full identity of what we are meant to walk in this world and like heal up. And you have all these tools, so you can go back in at any time and look at yourself and use these tools and create the systems for yourself. Like, I really just use these as a stepping stone for you to mold things into yourself, because I believe self hypnosis is one of the most powerful things. It works with the theta, it works with the mind, working with those subconscious thoughts. And the cool thing about Libras is that Libras are actually meant to work with that inner child, which is where those subconscious thoughts are programmed within those first 7 years of life. So you can see how the 7 chakras, the rainbow light body, the 7 of their house, they're in the 7th house, which is of relationships, it's of love, which is what we're all transmuting our hearts into right now, cracking them open, transmuting the energy, which is what pink energy is all about. And blue energy is all about opening our throat chakras and allowing that energy to seep out to the world. There's no such thing as coincidences. Just so you know, no such thing. Everything is meant to be. That includes the asshole that came into your life and disrupted it and whatever. Everything was meant to be. When you take away the lesson from it and the grace, you transmute that energy of it so you don't invite it into your world. And if you do, you have the tools to go, whip, nope, pull that out, rip that cord, pull this thing, shit that cord out, and get it all out of you without having to like completely melt down. And the more you do that, the more you come into the moment and you become the observer, the more you can just like spit it out of you and be like, I don't need anyone who don't need me, and walk away. Because it's your energy that is the most crucial. And your gut will always tell you. If you walk into a room and you feel sick because then there's something that's not right in that environment, get out. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Or there's a condition underneath that is needing to be looked at, that might lead you to something new. And it's whether or not we're resisting or are we surrendering to what is and allowing ourselves to observe and not anchor in and just find the beauty and the grace and what we're being shown, no matter how hard that moment is. You know, whether we're having our home taken or or we've lost a family member, or you know, we can look at the grace of almost anything and just send so much love to that moment rather than anchoring into the anger and the sadness and the violence. Mind you, if you want to, it's all about just allowing it to push through. We're not anchoring. That's the thing. It doesn't matter what emotion it is, love, hate, sad, it's all just meant to flow. And as we surrender, that's what we're doing. It's not about what's right and wrong with what we are feeling, because that's a shame space. It is about allowing what is to be being and allow it to flow through. So if you're having a moment where a memory is being triggered inside of your head and it is creating the sadness, allow the tears to flow. Observe where the thought is coming from. Ask yourself, ask your higher beings, is this a true fact, or is this my mind playing, my ego playing tricks on me? You can ask those questions and it will tell you. My ears are ringing like crazy as I say this. Your higher beings, if you ask for everything to be of good heart space, love, for your highest good, will always show you. And sometimes it's not going to look the way you thought. Trust me. I'm one of those. I was like, I'm gonna be off stage. I'm gonna be like in front of people, and that I can still see that happening. But it was just like that didn't happen right away because COVID happened, and I moved out into the middle of nowhere in a vortex where nothing works half the time. Which is why I sit and teeter and wonder if transition and time of change is coming, because it's been one of those things that I've either been in heavy resistance of, or it is one of those things that is needing to just surrender into what will be and allow. I ask the deep questions first, though, always, to see where my heart is truly lying, and to see and make sure it is not coming from a subconscious condition that is actually trying to sabotage the fuck out of my life before I go into it. I will lean in and ask myself through my muscle testing, and I will meditate on it. And if it is a fuck yes, a full 24 hours, because I'm using my human design, my divine design, my authority in its proper way, then I surrender and move into it and allow. And if not, then I look in, I do the asking, I do the dig deep into those deep beliefs and recreate. And every time you do that, you lift something. It's like pulling energy cords out of your body and shifting it and moving it so that it moves more freely through you, because that's what it's meant to do, no matter what that energy is, anger, sad, whatever it is. No shame. And so we have 3 cards that we picked for the collective. And as we're pulling into the last couple minutes, we're going to read them. And I think they go very well with the Libra energy. But first, I'm going to give you their affirmation. Their affirmation is, I am full of love and happy to share my love with all. My heart. I just scared you, didn't I? No. So it is, I am full of love and happiness, and I love to share my love with all my heart. So it's all in the intention. So the first one we have is companions. This is all about compassion. That's the word that's coming up with this for me. That our companions are not just in our relationships, they are in the creatures and the animals that we surround ourselves with. It is also in our beautiful artistic creations that we create. This is part of our companionship. It's a companion part of our heart. It's when we're expressing in that maximum expression and sharing that with the world. Sharing our joy with our neighbors. Companionship comes in many forms. It comes with mostly zero judgment. And that's what we're anchoring into, a place of the heart where we can share. And you can see she's sharing her heart. She's literally put her hand on the chest of this beautiful bird dragon. It's awesome. It's like, it reminds me of like a phoenix dragon. She's putting her hand on the heart. So it's all about sharing our hearts with zero expectation and not having any expectation of receiving anything. It's just about saying, hey, I send love to you, and I hope that you heal and feel great, and you find the way to sparkle and shine every day and do what makes you light up, because that's what it is. It's all about sharing that companionship. It's about sharing your love. It's about sharing your joys and allowing the right creatures and animals and people and situations and experiences to fall into your juiciness, because it's your authentic self that's showing to the world. And that is going to birth magic in the world. It's going to birth so many new opportunities. Oh, belly, I ate too much today. Had a really good dinner. It's Greek. But it is those spaces, when we clear out that space and we allow ourselves to be our authentic selves, we allow new experiences into our world. And that bursts magic. It starts birthing new experiences, new people, the more we release. That includes our physical things. And as I have told my students before, you can see that the dragon is actually wrapped around her. But if you took that the wrong way, you could think that she was strangling the snake instead of the snake being wrapped around her. And I do believe that just like a cobra, when it is wrapped around and it's constricting, the more we hold on to things, the more resistance we get. The more we let go, the more flow we get. And the more we switch our perspectives, the more we see that it was never you strangling them or them strangling you. It was you strangling them. It was you trying to control the outcome, which is what we need to let go of. Set the intention. Let go of the outcome. Allow your higher self to push you into those uncomfortable places. They're going to help you grow and expand to your maximum. And it's going to be all about the attitude that you give that is going to give you the different results. Your energy vortex is going to give you the rippling effect. And it is not about surrendering and being nice always. Don't get me wrong. It is about standing up for your rights. It's about loving your sovereignty. It is about loving who you are, whether big or small, right? Like, it doesn't matter. And realizing that it doesn't matter what we are, we're all animal, plant, and human kingdom, part of nature. And that's all that matters. And when we change our attitudes and own our own shit, we can start looking at things and observing things from a whole new lens, so that when other shit comes into your vortex, it makes no difference. You learn how to maneuver through it with much more ease and grace. Like you said, if you have all your fear codes sitting right in front of you, what is the number way people not manipulate right now? How is that? Through fear. So if you want to break that, learn what your fear codes are. Learn what it is that scares the shit out of you, and walk through those flames and be the phoenix. And every single one of these has got a dragon in it of some form, rising up, standing tall, holding space, whether it big or small. Dragon essence is very much a part of the air. I mean, they're all elements, but Maybe air energy is what we're meaning to flow into a little bit more. That and water. Remember, we are that water essence, so be kind. Your words of love from Mother Venus. I am full of love and happiness. I love with all of my heart. I love you with all of my heart. Love ya. Have a good night.